Okay, well, welcome back to Curse of Strahd in Appalachia. We're down a couple of folks tonight. Some people had some personal obligations that they had to get to, but that does not stop the game. And we hope that you're liking what we're doing so far, and we invite you to like and subscribe down there or up there or over there. I never really know where it is. But we're getting close. We're about 80 plus subscribers now. So we're within about 15 to 20 of getting that 100th subscriber that will get us our dedicated URL. So we're excited about that. And with that, we will get underway. I don't overpower the music here. So when we last left off, you had departed the Burgermeister's house that had been set aflame by its inhabitants. You made your way up the main thoroughfare road in the village of Barovia to the church on the north end of the town. There you encountered Father Donovich, who was bleary-eyed but praying. And after you got his attention and was able to successfully elicit his help and providing last rites and burial to Irina and Ismark's father, you encountered some other interesting things. Number one, when you arrived at the church, you kept hearing blood-curdling screams coming from underneath the floorboards. And later, as you were out in the cemetery, as you were completing the rites, Strahd von Zarovich himself showed up and offered his contempt at being excluded from such an auspicious occasion, and summoned some Strahd zombies from the ground, who then encountered a fight with you all. And at the same time, that scream that you heard coming from underneath the church was none other than a vampire spawn, that it was Father Donovich's son. And as a part of this encounter, Strahd had come to liberate his spawn vampire from his imprisonment, because his father had been trying to contain him with the hopes of being able to cure him of what ailed him. The fight continued on. Strahd left before it ended with Father Donovich's son and headed back to Ravenloft. Do you think it's where the bats were headed, as you noticed the bats appeared? And you successfully dispatched the remaining zombies. And you chose to take refuge for the night inside the church with Father Donovich's permission. You set up an appropriate perimeter system, and you each took turn on the watch. No major events occurred, and morning ultimately had broken. And with the conversation with Irina and Ismark, you have all agreed that heading west out of Barovia towards a place like Vallaki, or even more appropriately, the Abbey at St. Markovia, because so many of your clues so far have led you to that destination. You all have agreed to make that journey. And there is a sense of urgency, a sense of haste to get Irina in particular as far away from Barovia as you possibly can. With that in mind, you are all awakened You are in the church. No, not really. It's really just the church itself. I mean, you're in where the pews were. You were kind of in where the altar was. It is a church to the Morning Lord here in Barovia. And you're all there, and Ismark says to you all, well, we're going to have to make haste and get out of town. We want to get as far away from this village before we hit nightfall again. As you know, there's so many things possibly here that could obstruct our journey, and we want to get as much daylight as we can between us. And with that, Quill says, I hear what you're saying, Ismark, but I think there's some more things in this town I'd like to do. There's that mercantile down the street. I haven't had an opportunity to see if there's some supplies there that could help. Perhaps somebody could hang back with me while y'all go ahead and get on your way, and we'll just do what we need to do and scurry along as quickly as we can behind you, if that's okay. And as Ismark looks at him and considers this and looks at you all, do any of you have other thoughts about that idea?
Well, Ismark, I'm ready to head west with you and Irina there, but I'm happy for Quill to explore some what's going on in town.
With that, Irina pipes up and says, it's very brave of you, Quill, is it? I would not want you to stay in this town by yourself. I think you would need some help. There's not a lot of trustworthy people in this town, at least not from where I'm from, but not to their own avail. So I would feel better if I would hate to be the cause of the rush, but if someone were to be willing to stay and help, that would be better. And with that, Jack's like, "Hey, little lady, I'll stay and keep the pointy-eared guy safe, and I'll do that just for you." And Irina's kind of looking at Jack, going, "Okay, that's fine, and thank you. Yes, so." Don't be more than, don't let us get a day ahead of you before you start leaving. And then Ismark comes in and says, you want to be close behind us. We can move at a certain pace, but you don't want to let too many hours get between us and them. If it does hit nightfall, though, stay here at the church another night if you have to. But we won't be more than a day ahead of you. And we'll try to find a way to maybe Father Donovich has a way to maybe send us a message with a raven or some other way that he could let us know. I don't know what he might have available to him, but that may help us slow down and wait for you if that makes sense. So you all kind of gathered you probably had a morning breakfast of some sort, whatever you had on your person. Maybe Father Donovich had some stores that he was willing to share that kind of gave you guys an opportunity to at least get enough energy to head out for the day. And so Jack and Quill begin to gather their things to kind of make their way down towards the mercantile, which probably isn't going to be open for a couple hours anyway. So with that, what would you all like to do?
Well,
Let's mosey.
I think that sounds good to me.
guess we're heading out to toward St. Markovia. Is that what I understand?
Well, I think that's where we're going to find some safety for Arena here, and I did one of y'all say that was not the first time y'all had heard about the Abbey?
No, we've definitely heard we've heard that name before, for sure.
So it sounds like that there is something at least drawing us there, and to be quite honest with you, that makes me a little nervous when things begin to fall into place kind of neatly in Barovia. I don't know if I like that so much, but
yeah, it's definitely got my ears perked up. Sure.
I'm just saying let's not take anything at face value, and I hope you aren't taking us at face value because we're still relatively new to you, but hopefully we'll overcome that in time with familiarity.
I kind of like your face value. It's pretty.
And with that, Ismark looks at you and he catches your eye and he just smiles and gives you a wink.
Gunloda has entered the dating sim. Just kidding.
The way I see it, you probably have at least 2 more episodes before you enter the friend zone if you don't make your move. So I'm just
Right. I mean, I'm trying here, but I'm not trying to be too forward.
We are leaving Jack, so now's
it's
probably your time.
Yeah, there you go. So with that, Jack and Quill, although they got their stuff together, they're going to hang out at the church a little bit before they make their way down to the road. For one thing, Quill suggests it may not be a good idea for y'all to leave at the same time. That maybe the staggeredness of your departures would maybe throw off any prying eyes because he's paranoid that way. I didn't say that in his voice because I don't think I can do it that well. But anyway, plus I've been sneezing all day, so I don't know how any of my voices are going to sound today. So Ismark says, "Well, I'm ready to go when you all are, so we can saddle up, as they say. Although we don't have any horses, we're going to be doing this on foot. So it's still relatively early in the morning, and you all are about to leave. Is there anything else anybody else wants to do, say, accomplish before you head out?"
Oh, did I get the holy water?
You did.
I put it on that he was going to help me with it, but I just wanted to make sure.
Yep. So Shauna offers food and asks for blessed water from Father Donovich, and I think he gave that to you.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Is that?
We'll say that he gave it to you. He would not have a reason to withhold it from you, particularly since you all were there fighting that battle. Okay. So you guys make your way down the street very kind of nonchalantly. You know, you're not making a big to-do about your departure. Y'all all have your traveling cloaks on. You know, those weapons that Arena had taken from the house. Remember, she had a long sword and she had a small crossbow. She sort of has them tucked under her traveling cloak so that you really can't tell that she's armed. And she's got the way her cloak is set up, she's got a hood that's kind of pulled up that really conceals her face. So that as y'all are making your way through the town, it's not going to be obvious who she is necessarily to anybody that's not paying close attention. And you begin to make your way down the road back to that intersection where the Mercantile is and the Blood of the Vine. And Ismark gestures to the right, which would mean you'd be on the main road heading out of the village itself, back onto the old Sphalic Road. And it is early in the morning. I mean, there's some people kind of bustling around. You see, you know, smoke coming from the chimneys of the homes. You see maybe there's some folks out on their front porch with a broom kind of dusting off any of the ash or remnants from the night, just to kind of give themselves a clean look. There's some people that are maybe just going about their lives. And Shoshana, you hear faintly in the distance, sort of like a creaking of a wheel, like a cart being pushed in the village somewhere.
Can I tell distant or direction?
It's clearly not to where it's towards the if Ismark is gesturing to the right, it's really more over to your left, and it's not really super pronounced. It's just because it's morning and there's the quietness of the morning. You just happen to notice it with your passive perception.
I probably am going to walk toward the front of the. Obviously, we're. I don't know where we're going, but I'm going to be near the front.
Okay.
And kind of ready to grab my bow if I need to.
Okay. Yeah, and I think, well, yeah, so that's fine. And as you continue to make your way out of the village, so y'all, the way the street is, it's where the church is really sort of this diagonal kind of street to the square, if you will, where the mercantile and the Blood of the Vine is. And then you make that right turn and you kind of go past those same houses that you first encountered when you came in the village, where and you still have that same sense that there's an observation happening because you can't see inside those windows. The only homes that you really had the ability to have any insight into are those people who might be out on their front porch sweeping. Maybe their doors cracked or their windows a little bit more open. But these houses along the thoroughfare are just not. They're not lively, but you don't feel like they're abandoned. So, you make your way down a road that is very familiar to you all because you've traveled it once or twice as you've gone, down towards this area before. Let me do something real fast just to make my life a little easier. Put this down here on this screen so I have that handy. Okay. Doesn't really affect you guys at all, but it helps me. Okay, so y'all are headed down this road, and the first thing you would come to is that bridge. And that bridge is right there at the Ivlis River. I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep calling it the Elvis River. Y'all are going to let me too, and it's just going to be really sad as I get trolled online for saying it wrong. It's going to be great. It's going to hurt my feelings. So you get to that bridge at the Ivlis River that you had sort of, crossed over the first time. And, you continue on it. And Gunloda, this is where you continue to get nervous because you know what's ahead on this road. You've seen it. You've seen yourself hanging from the gallows, and it still really, really spooks you. But it took you about 20 minutes to get to the bridge. It's taken you another 40 minutes or so to get back to where you'd been before.
Mm-hmm.
But
Donna is probably going to keep kind of glancing back to check on her.
Yeah. So I would suggest it would be nice if, since Shoshana's checking on her, I think Shoshana should, or Sasha should roll a d20. That's what I think.
Ooh, what? Just a straight 20?
Shoshana should roll a d20, please.
8.
8?
Yeah.
That could be good. You don't know.
It could be good. Yeah,
Could be good.
it could be good. In this instance, it's your time to that point where you get to the gallows is uneventful. And as you approach the gallows, you see what you have seen before in terms of the wooden gallows creaking, but there does not appear to be any bodies hanging from it. And, the graves that you saw before do still seem to be there. It's still, obviously an old gallows, but it does not have the same mystery that it did previously. But you are at a crossroads now, and to the right is your way up through the Vistani camp that you've been to before. And then there is a low road that you have not been on before, and that is where Ismark is gesturing as well. Folks, this is the better way. We really don't want to encounter those Vistani if we don't have to. The fewer people that we see on this road, I think the better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, he says this will take us a little longer than going up that way, but I think it'll be safer. And
so while he's doing that, I mean, that seems that just, I don't know, that sort of pings for Hal here. And so I'd like to do an insight check just to see if I can see what I can see.
Are you insight checking Ismark?
Ismark, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He told us not to trust it.
He did.
That's fair.
Yeah. So that's a 10.
10, okay. I mean, he seems to be telling you the truth.
All right.
He
that seems good.
He says, and he's looking at him because he can tell you're not comfortable.
Like, we know
Friend,
these Vistani, and they seem good, but but I'm willing to go with. I'm willing to follow your lead.
Well, you remember when we met, and I told you how you got here, and I think I even told you who brought you here in my own silly way. I'm not saying that I don't want to ever run into those folks, but I'm just saying that my number one priority is getting my sister to safety.
And we're here to help you do that, so let's do it.
And I appreciate that. I just want to minimize the number of people that might see us on the road. I think the more stealth and the more people we don't run into, the better.
That seems like a great idea. Let's do that.
I agree.
Lead on, sir.
Okay. So with that, you make your way down the road. And this route is going to take you a couple hours, whereas the other way might have just taken you an hour. It's adding an hour to your trip because there's switchbacks and there's inclines and stuff like that that do sort of occur as you're.
I just drove, between Knoxville and Asheville today, so there's just and Lake Junaluska, and there's a lot of switchbacks. So
Yeah, you understand.
Oh man.
So, as you're making your way, let's see here. You make your way about an hour into the walk. And as the switchback takes you down this way and up this way, you find yourself kind of entering this new wooded area. where both sides of the, whereas before you were kind of walking on a grassy, kind of incline changes, some ridges, you know. Now the woods are beginning to enclose in, and the pathway is getting a little more narrow. And as you get about there, you notice coming out of the woods on your left side are 3 gentlemen. They seem to be dressed like they've been not so much tracking as they do look like they're hunting. They've been hunting. And, you know, they've got, no, I wouldn't call it camouflage, but they do have some clothing that would, if they were in the woods, it might make them easier to be concealed. They've got, you know, like crossbows and stuff, and maybe one of them's got a pelt on his back that you recognize as probably their morning kill, and they're just they're cutting across a pathway that is kind of putting them in a beeline with the Tsur pool that you encountered with the Vistani, which is going to be over in this area, if you can see that on your map. Let me kind of center it where you are on the screen. Perhaps that might be a little bit better. So we'll center that, and then you can see. So they're kind of cutting across. See if I do it this way. They're cutting across you. Well, they're not really here on the map, so let me just use your thing here to. No, I don't want to do that. Well, it's not working the way I want it to. Anyway, so they're cutting across you here as you come up the path. And, you know, you clearly see them, and they clearly see you.
Gonna load a tip her an imaginary hat at them and say, "Good day, sirs."
And the first one in front of you, he's kind of tall, kind of lanky. He's got a grizzled beard, and he says, "Uh-huh." And they kind of eyeball you all. And Arena, when she first notices them, she pulls her hood up. She kind of had her hood down, and she puts her hand in her cloak as if she's grasping something. You don't know if it's her sword or her crossbow, but she's just sort of.
Gunloada's idea is to take the attention to her,
sure,
not the rest of her party.
Can I do a perception?
Sure. What are you trying to perceive?
Am I concerned about them? Do I have a
bad feeling about this?
Yeah. Yeah. Just a kind of a general. Are they okay? Are they something to be concerned about?
Okay.
And I got 11, so it probably doesn't matter.
You got an 11 on your insight? Well,
well, no, that was a perception. If it's insight, then I got a.
Yeah. Yeah, with that,
I got a
you said perception check.
13.
13? Yeah, okay. I mean, they appear to be hunters. You know, they're dressed in traditional Vistani hunting garb. They have on their waist, they have a scimitar that you've seen before. You've seen others in the camp have it. They're carrying crossbows. They're clearly part of the party, although you don't recognize them. They don't appear to have been in the camp the night you were there meeting Granny, but they seem to be headed in that direction, and they seem to be part of that band, if you will.
Yep.
And so they're kind of. Y'all have sort of reached this impasse where they were about to cross and you were about to cross, and y'all are kind of staring at each other like, who's going to have the right of way?
After you, gentlemen.
Good day.
And the third one, who is behind them, says, "Much obliged." And they continue across the road, all eyeballing you, like from one to the other to the other, almost as if they're taking snapshots in their mind of who and what they've encountered.
Is what's his name? I forgot. It's my
Ismark?
boyfriend. Yeah,
Oh,
my
Ismark,
boyfriend. Yeah. Is he shying away as well, or just his sister?
Just his sister. He's just, he's acting like this is just a normal traveling party. He's not, he's assuming that it would not be unusual for him to be out on the road.
And what?
Okay.
And she throws her hood up. Is that right?
Yeah, she just pulls it up over, Think,
Okay.
Being nervous.
well, I mean, again, she doesn't want to be seen. She is leaving. She is seemingly well known. Or at least she thinks she is well known,
Right.
and she's just trying to not draw attention to herself.
Well, Gunloader wants to take Ismark's lead and just kind of keep on tricking
Okay.
after she tips her hat.
Sure.
Imaginary hat.
Imaginary and they pass into the woods, and y'all continue your jaunt up the old Sphalic Road.
Gunloader wants to whisper to Ismark, should we have killed them?
That's a really good question. Believe me, the thought occurred to me, but we are awfully close to the Vistani camp, and I would hate. I'm not looking for their help, but I'm certainly not looking to provoke them, and I don't think that we could take a stand against that whole party.
I think that they know that our party is kind of wandering around aimlessly through this one, so I don't think we should have too much trouble from them. Hopefully,
I understand. And these woods, they've been hunted for generations by everybody. So I shouldn't be too surprised. I'd hope we wouldn't run into anybody, but we did. And Arena and I have discussed what she should do when that happens, and she did great. She's gonna continue to try to keep herself concealed. So maybe if we just sort of keep her in the middle of the pack, so that when we do encounter people from the front or behind, she's not the first thing they see, which is, I think all of our preference. And she's like, my brother always likes to speak for me, and I do appreciate where that comes from, but I can take care of myself, and I can keep myself concealed. I'm not some wallflower. I'm getting better every day, and as my strength comes back, I'll be able to fend for myself.
absolutely. I will go in front of you, not because I can cover you, because you're obviously much taller than I am, but I am definitely more like recognizable. I think you just blend in behind me. It'd be cool. I got you, girl.
Ismark turns to Hal and says, "Women, am I right?"
I don't even.
I think Gunloader just rolled her eyes pretty hard. It hurt a little.
Don't sprain anything there. Yeah.
The bloom is off the rose now. All right. Okay. So, you all continue up the road, past where you have encountered these Vistani. So the next thing you come to is been about 2 hours since you were at the crossroads. I'm sorry. I keep wanting to move you guys on the map that's in somewhere else. So I'm going to move you here so you can see the map unfold. This is the right way for me to do it. I've just got too many screens up. Anywho, you make your way out of those woods finally, and you're back to a very familiar terrain where there's that grassland or ridge kind of look that you would see in the mountains. And if you've ever been in the mountains of North Carolina, you know that you can walk in some wooded areas, and then all of a sudden you come across sort of what you might call a bald, where,
Like all those cow pastures.
well, then I have actually seen longhorn steer in the middle of the Appalachian Trail as you're crossing through, which is very unnerving, by the way.
I'm sure.
Well, once you sober up, they disappear. I know.
I've never had them disappear on me.
No, they didn't disappear. If anything, little sidebar here. On the Appalachian Trail, there is a section between Carver's Gap and Roan Mountain where there are these longhorn steer, and they're part of somebody's land that the trail goes across. And they have this fencing where you have like an A, if you will, that you have to kind of walk around because you can get through, but the steer cannot get out because it's an angle and it's crazy and stuff like that. But it is, you have like about 400 yards of field where there's these longhorn steer just all around
That's
you.
amazing.
There's some just Herefords in near Boone. Same thing.
Yeah, it's the same part of the state where I was, where you get up to Roan Mountain and Carver's Gap in that area. Anyway, so
and you've got Balsam Knob and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of what it resembles as you come out of the woods, and so it's very much with the lay of the land as you would see it today. Oh, let's not do that. Let me hit the Control Z and fix that. Okay. So you make your way up, and as you begin to come around this curve, those of you with really good passive perception begin to notice or begin to hear water, falling water.
Is 13 good on passive perception?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, it's not the highest in the party.
No.
But it's
When
not.
I had the highest.
You and Quill, I think, have the
Or, yeah,
highest. You're
yeah,
both at
Quill.
14, but 13 is right there.
Okay.
Everybody's got a pretty high perception except for Harlan, who's got an 11, and Jack, who's got an 11. But everybody else is,
Yeah. Shit skates by me.
It was your dump stat. I understand.
What can I do? Yeah.
All right. So you begin to hear water falling, and
Frank Lloyd Wright shows up?
no. So you follow the road that you're on as it clings to the side of the mountain, and it ends before this arching bridge of mold encrusted stone that spans a natural chasm where the water is. And you can kind of see, because you've taken this particular route. Let me move you further on the map here so that you can kind of get a sense of what I'm talking about here. You can kind of see that, okay, you're up here, and if you look to your left, you see this waterfall that is coming down, and then the water is kind of pooling to your left. And then what is happening, although you don't really see it because, let me kind of open up the area a little bit and see if that helps.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that might help you a little bit better to kind of get a sense of the vision, because it is daylight. You're although it is misty, it is daylight. So you would see that the falls are kind of, up here, if you will, on this map. And there's a little pool of water, and then it's going under the bridge, and it's making its way down into the valley. So you can kind of, as you look to your right, you can't really see where the Vistani camp is, but you kind of get a sense based on the people that you encountered and just sort of the geography of where you are, that the camp is probably down that stream, and that this is the water source that fills that pool. And
Cool.
So that's kind of what you figure. So, anyway, gargoyles cloaked in black moss perch on the corners of the bridge, their frowns weather-worn. On the mountainous side of the bridge, a waterfall spills into that misty pool that I talked about nearly 1,000 feet below, and the pool feeds a river that meanders into the fog-shrouded pines that blanket the valley.
Pretty.
Ismark continue on?
So you'd like to cross the bridge?
I'm asking because Ismark is obviously.
He's kind of the running
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I think we should just head on up. This is the way out of Barovia, or out of this part of Barovia.
Do I see anything that or hear anything that's concerning?
How do you feel about waterfalls?
I mean, they can be loud, and I would probably look around and see if I saw anything that the sound is.
Make a perception check.
I'm rolling like garbage. 11.
You see pieces of garbage floating. No.
No, that's now.
Yeah. I mean, it appears to be a waterfall on a bridge. I mean, obviously, you see the mold on the bridge and you see the gargoyles, but they don't seem to be bothering Ismark.
Okay.
Gunloda would when she crosses, she wants to not touch anything. She doesn't like the sliminess of it.
Okay. So, you know, well, actually, I'm going to ask you to give me a perception check,
Okay.
just because you know you guys have to
She
roll
does
dice.
think the waterfall is very beautiful, though.
Okay. She's thinking how she could make moonshine out of it, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. Very nice flowing stream. Goes a long way. All right. Ooh, a 19.
19.
Oh, plus 3. 22.
Wow.
Damn.
You look at that bridge and you see that not only is the sides of it kind of moldy, but the actual footpath itself looks like it's a little slick. And you think to yourself, you might want to walk a little gingerly across that bridge. Or you might ask somebody to pick you up if you really don't
I was
want
going to say, she kind of wants to, like, reach her hand out to Ismark, but, like, not look, but, like, you know, get close to it and grab his hand for support.
Okay. So you nestle over to Ismark, and as your pinky kind of touches his pinky, it's like that subtle, if he takes my hand, I'm okay with it, but if he doesn't, it was just clearly an accident because of proximity.
She's slick like that.
I understand.
I think we should get music up and.
And
thank you.
I think I hear banjo music.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So Ismark, sensing your discomfort, clasps your hand, but not in a loving way, just sort of in a supportive way, as y'all begin to step out onto the river, and you kind of feel not the river, the bridge, and you kind of feel that if you've ever been out on the greenways where the wood has gotten wet, and even though you have really good shoes, there is that sense of slipperiness where the viscosity has just gone to blah, and you could slip. So you're kind of having to take like step to avoid the slippiness.
Gunloda wants to offer her other hand to Irina. Since, you know, we're just all friends here.
Sure. Irina says, "Oh, aren't you a dear?" And she takes your hand.
Yay.
And so now you have this sight of these two relatively tall Barovians with this dwarven in between them. From a distance, you would almost think, oh, look at those parents and their child walking across the bridge. And so you make your way across the bridge. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm willing to watch that happen and just hang back and see if they get across okay.
Okay. They get across the bridge and they are back on terra firma, and the road.
Happy to follow, yeah.
Okay.
That's my want to hold hands.
A little bit and proceed.
So, so those of you who are going across not holding hands, just for fun, give me a dexterity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you get.
16.
Ooh,
16. Okay.
Oh, no.
I know.
Should have held hands, man.
No shit.
Got a 19.
19. Okay.
I got a 6. I'm gonna fall in some shit here.
So
Switching dice. Switching dice.
Rain just like the with feline like movement just makes his way across the bridge without any challenges whatsoever, and
My critter.
his critter
Storm.
Oh yeah. I
Storm,
forgot
yeah,
my critter.
Storm is going across, and Storm. I'm not gonna have you roll a dexterity for Storm, but because of the way he is constructed, does struggle a little bit. He doesn't get across as swiftly as you do. I mean, it's clearly kind of coming along. It's a lot like that scene in Star Wars where everybody's running ahead, and then slowly here comes R2-D2 behind. Eventually, yeah, it's a lot like that. But Hal.
Yeah.
As you're making your way across the bridge, you get a little slippery. You don't fall, you catch yourself, but you struggle a little bit. But I'm not gonna make you bust your ass if it's not a natural.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like over the top of the arch. I'm feeling okay.
Yep.
And then on the downside, I was like, fuck! My heels are going out. I'm dancing.
Yep.
Flailing. Hey! But I get to the other side. Oh, Jesus! I should have held hands. Gunload,
Yeah.
I got my eye on you.
I'll hold your hand next time. Don't you worry.
Aw.
Since it's all friends over here.
And
Apparently.
with that, Ismark just sort of lets go of your hand, like, oh.
Fair enough.
But Irina does take her other hand and kind of pats yours, and she lets it go in a very sisterly way.
I don't know.
I
Maybe
like that.
Maybe Arena's the
Could be. You never know. All right.
I don't know if children like creatures are things, but we'll see.
All right.
I don't think Arena was. How old is Arena?
I mean, she's an adult.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's
Yeah. She's of she's of Marin age. Of course, that could be 13 here in the mountains. You don't know.
As long as childbearing age,
Well,
more reasonable, right?
well, we can tell who's from West Virginia on this call, can't we?
Oh,
With apologies to the state of West Virginia.
I was gonna
Busted.
say.
Oh, look, there's Ian. Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Ian.
Hey, man.
He went to a derby party.
So we'll be seeing him later.
Yeah.
Did he come in to hold your hand? Never mind.
Yeah.
Tulips.
He has no clue what's going on. He's like, what?
All right, so back to the story. So
Yes.
as you make your way across the bridge, and like I said, it's been a couple more hours. It's a couple hours rather since you left the crossroads where the hanging was. You continue on for about another 30 to 40 minutes, maybe. Let me have Hal. I never know what I want to call you. Just give me a D20 roll, please.
Just random D20. All
Sure,
right,
why
not? Sure, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's 5.
5. Okay. Yeah, you're fine. Nice job.
Thank you.
So you do begin to sense in the distance, particularly the people with the highest perception, you see as you kind of come around this curve, there's this crossroad up here, not too far ahead, and as you approach it, let me move the map again here just to give you guys a little bit of perspective. As you approach it, you notice parked at the fork in the road, pointed east is a large black carriage that seems to have 2 black horses. And you're far enough away that you don't see any body. You just see the carriage and the horses. And you see the snort puffs of steamy breath that are exhaling into the air by the horses. And
Put her hand on her crossbow.
okay. And y'all are far enough away that if the horses are aware of your presence, that is unclear to you. So I'd say you're like, this map is not to scale, so I'd say you're, a few hundred yards away. So you've got some time to, you're close enough that you can see it. It's there. But you're far enough away that you have time to talk about it, if you like. And go ahead.
He's also gonna start looking for the people.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm not even going to have you do a perception check. I mean, from this distance, you just see the carriage and the horse.
Yeah.
Okay. And Ismark, he stops dead in his tracks when he sees this, and he says, not really sure what that is. I mean, I know what it is. It's clearly a carriage. It looks, from what I can tell here, I don't know a lot of people that have black carriages and black horses, but I know of one person who does, and we've all met him recently a couple times. I think we should proceed, but proceed with caution, because there is that fork. If you go up to that part of the fork and go to your right, you're headed up to the castle itself. And I don't know about you folks, but Arena and I are not really interested in touring a castle today. But
is there a way we can cut across country and just avoid the whole situation?
I mean, you could get off the road and go into the fields. You've done that before.
That sounds like a good idea.
Might be a good idea if we just duck into the woods a little bit here and try to get around this thing.
Well, there's not really woods.
It's not really woods. It's just
yeah.
So we're kind of in an open area. Is that kind
Well,
of
it's that baldish kind of look. I mean, you're on a dirt road,
Gotcha,
and if
gotcha.
you look to the left and the right, it's that low grassland kind of area. The trees are in the distance, and you can kind of see around the curve. It doesn't really show on this map, but you see what looks like to be another large gate that is very similar to what you experienced when you first came into Barovia on the east side.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna move your dudes up here, and then I'm gonna move you back, because again, at daylight you would see these things. So up here is a let me do it this way. There's a gate there.
Where is the carriage again?
The carriage is right here at this crossroad.
Oh, okay.
So it's very close.
So does I'm gonna ask Ismark, do you know what that gate's for?
Yeah, that's when you folks came into Barovia from where you came from, y'all came through a gate. Well,
Right.
the village of Barovia is the village of Barovia. So it gets really confusing. It's, in Charlotte, everything's named Sharon or Park, or, you just never know when the roads never change, but they've turned 8 times. Well, in Barovia, Barovia is a land, but Barovia is also a village. And the village is protected by these gates. There's a gate on the east, which I think you may have seen. This is the gate on the west. Beyond this gate is the places that we need to go to. We'll find Vallaki. There's the lake. There's the mountain. There's Lake Zarevich. Yeah, he's got everything named after him.
So we need to need to cross through this gate. Is that what I'm understanding?
So is this kind of like the intersection of Queens and Providence and Providence?
Yeah, but there's no library there.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So Ismark, is it my understanding that we need to go through that there gussied up gate?
Yep, that is that's the gateway to the rest of Barovia.
All right. Well, that carriage seems to be right where we need to go.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it's there, but I'm not too surprised. Do you know the game? I don't know what you all would call it. We call it chess.
Oh yeah, we got that at home.
Well, I think our friend in the castle is a pretty good chess player. The question is, are we the pawns, or is that carriage the pawn? Makes you think, don't it?
Yeah, it does indeed.
Well,
make a wrench on your noodle a little bit, you know.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, personally, I think we're going to have to go past it. I'm happy to go past it. I feel like we're ready if something happens. I can't imagine that he's in that carriage, because he doesn't need a carriage to come see us. If he wanted to confront us, I think he'd be showing up somewhere in the woods.
All right.
We've seen that happen at least twice now, one at my house and at the church. I don't think he needs a horse to come find us.
Well, now, you reckon that thing's locked?
The gate?
Yeah.
I've never known it to be locked, but I've never tried to sneak out of the town without permission. I don't know if that's the right word, but anyway.
Well, I don't reckon we're going to know unless we try.
So, I think from Ismark's perspective, he's happy to do whatever. So, you guys, what would you like to do?
Can we walk around the gate, or do we have to go through the gate to get to the rest of Barovia?
I mean, we could cross through the woods. There is some, and as you see the gates, there are, there's a higher ridge on the north side of the gate that kind of has a natural barrier.
Right.
And there's some of that on the southwest side of the gate as well. But there's also a forest there that appears to be part of the natural barrier. So you could seep in.
But that's our easy way to go.
That is the easy way to go. Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, y'all, I'm willing to, as it were, roll the dice on this one.
All right. Well, let's give her a go.
So Rain, if you're willing to, well, hey, Rain, I got a question for you. Your, what's the name of the dog?
Storm.
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 Well, what can Storm like get out in front of us and tell us what's up?
Well, I'm sure he could probably scout ahead and see if he could maybe creep around and see what he could maybe see.
I don't know. Or do we just want to go ahead and bust on through and assume hope that their carriage is just, as Ismark says, is just a pawn?
Tell me, this pet of yours, it's rather unusual. Does it, can you talk to it, or does it see for you? Does it, I don't know, send you a message of some sort? I don't understand. You folks with your fancy toys.
It seems to just be a construct at this point. I don't think I've imbued him with any sort of communication skills at this point.
So I have a question. He's a construct.
Mm-hmm.
I can talk telepathically to another being. Could I?
I mean, a construct isn't really a living being, per se.
Yeah, it's just he's almost like a robot, but with a little more robust.
I mean,
like direct him to do things. So you could just watch and see sort of what happens. But
all right.
Well,
that's what we got tonight. I figure we should just go on ahead and just be super careful and take on, just hope for the best, y'all.
All right.
As we.
Although the robot dog is super awesome. I mean, I just have to.
Well, Ismark does is that one of those? I can't remember. Was he there when you built it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Watching you build that, it made me wonder if you're somehow related to Blinksy. Or Blinsky. The toys that you had growing up. It is no fun. It is no Blinksy. You guys didn't have those kind of toys growing up?
We was Poe.
Okay. Well, Blinksy is a toy manufacturer. In fact, I think he's in Vallaki. So when I watched you built that thing, I was thinking, wow, he must be somehow related to Blinsky. So, one last question while we're on the topic of your storm, is it? If he just theoretically, I'm not asking you to do anything, but if he did scout ahead and was damaged, can you fix him?
Oh yeah.
So
Absolutely.
That might be good to remember as we encounter, whether it's a carriage or something else. Maybe let the dog, the construct, whatever you call it. I'm gonna call it a dog. It looks like a dog to me. I'm sorry.
You can just call him Storm.
Totally a dog.
So I'd let Storm set off any of the fireworks before we get there, so we kind of know what we're dealing with. And if you can repair him, then that might be a worthwhile trigger, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Let's say, hey, let me see if I can get a little buddy here to kind of sneak around up there and see what might happen.
Right. So I'm gonna send.
Yeah, thank you, Rain.
So I'll look down in there, fella. Hey, Storm, I need you to go ahead up there and see what you kind of sniff around that carriage, see what you can find out.
So
Him on up ahead.
Sure. So as Storm proceeds towards the carriage, the horses have the black horses have those black blinders on that you see on horses that are rigged up to carriages and such. Nobody appears to. Y'all are back where you were, and you've just let him go on ahead, correct?
Right.
Yeah, so nobody appears to notice. The horses continue to breathe. They kind of look in his general direction, like an animal might notice something coming up, and how horses always have that wide-eyed look about them.
Mm-hmm.
He
has a passive perception of 14, if that helps.
I think so at this point, Shoshana would probably pull out her bow and ready it just in case.
Okay. So, I tell you what we're going to do, because Rose has got to sit with her mom for a second. Let's just take a little break, maybe about 5 minutes or less.
Yep.
And we will pick it up from right here. We will be right back.
After these messages.
Okay.
Okay.
Aren't we all?
All right, so we're back. When we last left, you guys were approaching a crossroads where at the crossroads was a black carriage with 2 black horses. You can see the gate to exit the village of Barovia area in the distance, and you have sent Storm ahead to sort of scope things out. And what you noticed was that the horses, although noticing Storm, didn't seem to react. Didn't seem to care that he was there.
Okay.
Or she, whatever. I'm not going to assign any gender to Storm at this stage. They were there. Thank you.
Okay.
Next Storm, yeah.
Well.
So, what would y'all like to do?
I'd vote that we proceed with caution.
I think that's right.
Shall we try to sneak? I'm not very good at sneaking, though.
I'm not particularly good at sneaking either. So,
well, folks, from my point of view, I think this is going to play out one way or the other. So I think personally, I see this now that I've had time to think about it. I think this could just be a test.
I think it's either going to be a rain of shit or we're going to be okay. So
roll those dice.
You have a very colorful way of putting things.
So I grew up around here, so what do you gonna do?
Yeah, I sense that. Okay.
Well,
let's head on.
Mosey on up the road here.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
We are westbound and down. Let's go. So, which is the first song in that movie, by the way, is they head to Texarkana.
As Papa used to say, hi.
Hi.
You have a pap? I had a
Oh,
pap.
Yeah.
All right, so y'all head on up the road, and as you approach the horses, you kind of get up to where Buddy is. Or not Buddy, sorry. That's different construct, different game. Sorry. Hi, Hugh. I hope you're watching. As you approach Storm, your buddy Storm, and you get within the same proximity of the carriage and the horses that he got, you're a lot closer. You've gone from being a few hundred yards to maybe being a few hundred feet. And as you approach, what you notice is the carriage door just opens.
To make a sound?
Sure, it goes because I'm really good at making sound effects like that. I'm going to get me a chalkboard to just and so you now have a black carriage before you with an open door and 2 horses that are also black.
All right.
What's Irina doing?
Irina is she is in the middle of the pack. Her hood is up as per usual. Like Shoshana, she has her hand on her weapon, but still within her cloak.
Okay.
Gunloda wants to tip her imaginary hat, not out loud, but in her mind voice, she wants to say, "Good day, sir or madam." But she doesn't want to say it out loud. She just thinks it very loud.
Is she addressing that towards the horses or to the open door in the carriage?
The open door. Oh, the horses would have been brilliant.
One of the horses goes, no.
Well, thank you, Constance.
Frau Blucher, indeed. That was a good call. That was good.
All right.
That was awesome.
Total aside, there was a Today or CBS morning show interview with Cloris Leachman, and as she was being interviewed on her patio. This was a few years ago. As she was being interviewed on her patio, her neighbor has horses, and you heard them make that noise. She's like, I hear that every day.
Every day.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right.
It could be a rooster. It can be worse.
That's true. All All right, so back to the story. So yeah, so you tip your hat towards the open door. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm happy to just bypass it. Let's just keep moving.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm not stopping. I'm just tipping my hat in respect
All right.
and
right.
moving on.
I don't mind a little nod and just keep going too.
Sure. So, y'all head on to the northwest. No, sorry. You head towards the gates.
Yes.
And you bypass the carriage. And
Ideally. Yeah.
So y'all do. Y'all kind of clustered the way you did before with Arena in the middle, I presume.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Whereas Storm, does Storm stay ahead, or does Storm kind of hold sentry while y'all go past?
He kind of stays put and sort of watches, keeps an eye on the carriage.
So as the last of you passed by, you hear that creak sound again, and the carriage door seems to just close as it opened by itself. Nobody seems to be doing anything about it. And as you have made the choice to go on towards the gate, the horses and their carriage begin to not trot, they more walk, like that, just slow, beginning to get a pace that's nothing more than a walking pace, and the carriage begins to pull away up the road towards the castle away from you, going in the opposite direction of where you're headed.
Well, I gotta say, y'all, that was a mite bit odd.
A little nerve-wracking, yes.
I gotta say, Gunloader, you got any of that there nerve medicine you carry around?
I do. I would gladly share it with you, sir.
I believe I'd like to have a little nip of that if you
and anyone else. But she hands the
Arena is like, I would not mind. I think that,
oh girl, yes.
I agree that this was a very unnerving situation, and I should warn you all that we'll probably see more of unnerving things while we're here. And
I've
with
got
that,
a couple.
She takes
flasks.
Is it a flask? Is it a mason jar? What is it?
She has the flask for but she also has I'm pretty sure she has a jug in her pack.
Okay, so you offer her the flask.
Yeah. It's a little bit easier.
Sure.
And more feminine for her.
Is it a full flask? Is it a partially full flask? What's the volume in there?
Well, it's probably at least a third down.
A third down, okay.
Yeah. From her own, from
knowing Gunloader, yeah.
Okay, so Irina takes it and she kind of sniffs it. Just trying to get a sense of it. And she holds it out and she kind of looks at it and goes,
She's classy.
And then
there's a whole lot of corn.
Wait, pinky out, pinky.
No. She's not doing this. She takes it and she just tilts her head back. And you see the takes 2 large swallows, and then she hands it back to you.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, how did I do on my brew, ma'am? Obviously, you chugged that shit.
I think that will be very useful as we go through these unnerved moments.
I mean, but
it was quite
talking more from a distiller. Did I do
well? I would hardly consider myself a proficient connoisseur to convey quality, but I can tell you this: I know what I like, not what I'm supposed to like, and I liked that.
Excellent. I mean, you did look like a connoisseur after you chugged that. But no offense.
It just seemed like the natural thing to do.
Are you from Myrtle Beach or what? Yeah.
I'm not really sure what that means.
Out of character.
Oh.
You did say it with an accent.
Right, yeah.
So, y'all remember the TV show Myrtle Manor? Never mind.
No.
It was all about a trailer park in Myrtle Beach, probably.
Oh God.
Oh, it
really?
was. Oh my God, it was hilarious.
Wow.
It was PTK, pre-Tiger King.
Oh.
So much is.
Which is different. Which is different than a TBK, by the way.
Yeah, let's avoid that.
Okay.
I'm going to say that I am one of the few people that did not watch Titans.
I don't think you missed much. It was good fun.
Oh no!
But...
Oh, you missed a lot. It was yeah.
I mean,
it was a lot.
It was a lot.
All right, back on track.
All right.
Yes.
So after
little nerve medication, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
good for my rheumatism, you know.
It is. It's always good for the rheumatism.
Oh wait, hold on. Sorry.
This is Quill.
I'm sorry.
You heard what we heard. Is this Quill checking in now? Finally, no.
No, that's my. I need to turn notifications off. Is what I need to do. Is what that means.
That works.
Yeah. So you come to the gate, and just like before, it's that same kind of sentry that you saw when you came in. It's that old gate. The difference is that whereas the one on the frontier that you first encountered appears to be more abandoned, this one appears to be a bit more traveled. So you see more ruts in the road. You see similar statues. They don't seem to be in the same level of disrepair as the ones outside of the woods that you first encountered.
And we came in on the eastern gate.
You came in on the eastern gate. This is the western gate.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
And so Ismark says to you, well, as we approach the gates, it just should open for us. They just always seem to do. You don't really have to.
That's not creepy at all.
Well, if it's been that way all your life and you don't know any better, it's not creepy, is it? But I appreciate.
Familiar.
But I appreciate. Well, yeah, but I appreciate your perspective. So y'all head towards the gates, and they don't open.
These are wooden gates. They're metal. Remind me what they look like physically.
Totally fair.
It's been a couple of weeks.
Sure.
Thank you.
So these are huge iron gates that hang on to stonework. And you get a sense, you don't see the statues on this side because you're inside, but you get a sense that there's probably a similar look on the other side.
Is there any sort of lock on this?
I mean, there are hinges, and there's they just didn't open automatically, so to speak. So
automatically, I like it.
I like that. Yeah. Yeah, that happens to me at Ingalls all the time. Yeah.
Gunloda looks at Ismark and you want to push it open? Like what's the thing here?
Well,
Speak friend and enter.
I think that we could probably try to give it a push. I mean, I have a fair. I mean, this is going to sound like I'm bragging, but I have a fair strength.
Well, now hold on just a minute. I'd say before we go pushing on anything, we ought to kind of look at it, make sure there ain't anything weird about this thing.
Okay. I assume you're curious to see if maybe it might be trapped or something.
Yeah, let's take a look just to make sure.
Oh, okay. Is there anybody that's really good at that?
Well, I'm pretty fair at it.
Well,
is that investigation?
Yeah. Anybody want to give a feller some assistance?
I'm not good at that.
I got nothing.
So, Irina looks at you and says, I will gladly assist you? How can I help? Tell me what to do.
Oh, she is
Right,
so
well,
bless her heart.
I'm happy to learn.
Extra,
Bless her
just an
heart,
extra
indeed.
little pair of
In a good
eyes.
way.
Give me a little help, and
Okay,
I got
do
that
you-
subtlety too.
Do you want me to roll for her, or do you want to just have advantage?
I'll just roll double. Be fine.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. That is that's good. 19 plus 5 gives me a 24.
Excellent.
Yeah, so
There's some shit.
you look at it, and it does not appear to be trapped. It just
Doesn't open.
All right. Well, let's give it a push and see what happens.
Well, Ismark, before, has this ever happened? Have you seen this happen? Have people talked about this sort of thing before? Or is this...
I mean, it's not anything that gets talked about that I can recall.
Alright.
I mean, this is a magical place, and I would imagine it. I would think that this is more of a barrier than a containment, but I honestly don't know. I've never really experienced this before.
All right. Arena, have you seen anything like this before?
I don't really travel that often. I have pretty much stayed. My father was very protective and kept me pretty much in the home that you found me in.
I understand.
So
Right.
I can't honestly tell you what I have experienced other than that lovely drink that I was offered just a few moments ago.
It was lovely. She does have a gift. That is true.
She's very talented.
So, does anybody have a... All right. Y'all, this doesn't seem like... If these gates usually just open for people, I'm thinking maybe shoving on them might not be the first thing we want to do.
Ismark said he'd do it for us.
Which is good, and I love the
clear,
man.
To be clear, I said that I would accept help on it. I can't say that I could do it by myself. I'm saying I have some strength.
And I mean, look at those muscles on this. I mean, but maybe, so Shauna, do you think there's something? I don't know. I'm trying to just figure out. It feels like this isn't quite like there's more maybe at work here than just pure strength. And I'm really bad at like just reading vibes on like a door, but anybody?
I can do a perception check.
Does anybody have any kind of detect something?
Detect magic, for instance. I don't know.
You're supposed to
cough.
Detect evil.
That'll work. I mean,
I
I'm trying to
Yeah, I'll do detect magic.
give it a shot.
So that is, you sense the presence of magic within 30 feet. If you sense magic, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object that bears magic.
Okay. And that's not a roll. You just detect magic.
Yeah.
It just happens. You just detect it.
Turns out.
So as you do this, you do notice that you see sort of this blue shimmer around the gates that kind of fulfill its the curvature, if you will. I would like for you to give me an intelligence check, please, Shoshana.
Okay.
With advantage because of who's in your head.
Well, that sucked. What kind?
Intelligence.
that wasn't a good overture there.
Even with advantage, it sucked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god. Oh wow.
Would be a 9.
Okay. Well, you see the blue aura. It looks familiar to you, but it doesn't look as familiar to you the way it looks. I don't know of a better way to describe that on a 9.
You gonna tell us something?
Let me do divine sense too.
Okay.
Detect good and evil until the end of the next turn. You can sense anything affected by a hallow spell, and know the location of a celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet.
Okay. Is there a throw, or you just do it?
It's just
okay.
I just do it.
Yeah. No, you don't detect anything.
There is definitely some magic here, but I don't know if the magic is what opens the gate or what we need to be concerned about. I wonder, is there another? Can we see a like a break that we could walk around the gate?
I mean, you can go into the woods you can walk around it. You're not trapped. It's just the gate's not opening for you.
I don't see anything that is threatening, but there is definitely some magic on the gate. I don't know what that might mean.
Which Ismark would say, well, I've always thought there was magic on the gate because it would open and close.
I don't know.
That would be my guess. But I don't notice anything particularly worrisome about it.
All right. Shall we try to push our way through, y'all?
We can see if we can push her open.
Let's do it.
Okay, so who all is going to give it a shove?
So who's our tank here? It's going to be Gunloader, right? Is that?
I'm a tiny tank.
So
I know, but
Ismark's got a 18 strength.
Okay, so what I'm going to do
and
is
Irina, by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Irina has a 15 strength.
But so if he's going to put his shoulder to the wheel there, what I will do is cast Enhance Ability on him.
Okay.
And that's going to, I'll do the Bold's Strength option for him so that he has advantage on strength checks.
Okay.
Who else has a really high one?
I have a 14 strength.
I have 14 as well.
Okay.
I'll help him push.
So he's already got advantage because of the spell, so you're going to also have to roll. And we'll combine, and you're just enhancing Ismark, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Okay, and...
that gives him 7 more.
Oh. Okay, so... Okay. And
I got a nat 20 with a +2.
Okay. So he got a 14. No. 15 plus 7. So he got a 22. And you got a 22, but yours is also a nat 20. Okay. So both Ismark and Shoshana press up against one of the doors. You chose the right door because you just think traffic going out would be happening on the right. I don't know why you thought that, but you did.
Seems right.
And you push, and you both strain a little bit, but then all of a sudden you feel the door begin to move. And you're able to push it open. Not wide, but enough that all of you could get through without any issue. And ironically, the way you're able to open it, it's like if anything were in a horse or carriage, it would be difficult to get through the opening that you've created. So y'all are you're free to walk through the gate.
Do we need to hold the door, or can people? Is it going to just?
Yeah, no, it doesn't appear to have like an auto close, but it's staying put where you've put it at the moment.
Well, I will walk through.
Uh-huh.
But I'm also going to grab my sword.
Okay. So you have your sword out. You walk through. Ismark, thinking like you, is kind of leaning up against the door until everybody's passed, and he hurriedly rushes Irina through, and Gunloda as well, because they're kind of together.
We're sisters.
So
From another mister.
Can I take a look and see what's going on outside? Do I see anything outside of the gate?
Oh, well, let's get it. Is everybody through at this point?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so Ismark says to you all as you go through, I hope this isn't a barrier for Quill and Jack when they try to come upon us. We might want to. Does anybody have any kind of paper or something we could try to leave them a note? Not that does any good around here. Last time y'all saw a note, it was wrong, but.
Well, now hold on just a second.
Yeah.
I got a little something that'll work.
Of course he does, yeah.
We just might want to warn them about a carriage and a gate, just in case they need to take an alternate route or something. Just thinking ahead. So, I don't know these people that well, but we did tell them to not be more than a day behind us. And
well, I think, it might not be a bad idea to leave a little something here that they might notice. So, so I have an ability called magical tinkering, and that allows you to imbue a tiny non-magical object with a magical property of your choice. It has either a 5-foot radius light, up to a 6-second long recorded message,
Ooh.
Emits odor or nonverbal sound, or it has a static visual effect, including up to 25 words of text.
That's brilliant.
That's awesome.
Do
you have something you could leave behind that they might notice?
I'm trying to think of something.
I can, because I've got mold earth, and so I could leave just an arrow in the sort of an arrow shape out of dirt on the ground there.
I'm suddenly picturing like something that Genie from Aladdin has like.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Go this way.
I know. Trying to combine the two is like
Gunloda is just so happy about the crew that she's with.
So it makes kind of a physical. It would make a physical earthen object, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if we take that and then put a message on it so that it's triggered when they find it, but
that
we
sounds
would have
awesome.
to kind of specify that we could specify that like say Quill or Jack comes across this thing, it triggers the message to play.
Ismark asks you a question. He says, well, your friend Quill, he's more like Hal than the rest of us. Is that right?
Yeah.
No offense, Hal. I just am not that familiar with people who look like you, because we haven't met a lot of folks like you here in Barovia. That might be, if you have the ability to trigger off of that presence, because Jack, he's kind of like everybody else.
Yeah, don't tell him that.
Oh, I'm sure he'll know.
Ixnay on the ACJ formal name.
But anyway, I don't know how your magic works, but I'm just trying to think that what might be useful to you to help them out.
Can you talk to them or talk to Quill via your likeness? For lack of a better term.
What? Yeah, I was going to leave a message in Elvish. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, now that's an idea as well.
Yeah. We could do that. Yeah.
Because that way we could use the 6-second long recorded message. We could record it in Elvish.
Ooh, yeah. Let's do that. Yeah. Because if you could use my voice to do it, yeah.
It would encode. That way it would kind of give it an extra little layer of protection just in case some rando stumbled across it.
Right. Yeah. No, because, yeah, absolutely. Yep, let's do that in Elvish.
So what do we want to, hold on a minute. So what exactly do we want? What we want to tell them?
Well, we could put the arrow there on the ground that just says, points where we've been.
Direction, right?
Right. So that's easy. And then you can wrestle the gate open.
Watch out for black carriage.
Yeah, don't engage the carriage.
Push hard on the gate.
That works.
The right side of the gate.
On the right side. Push hard on the right side of the gate.
I think we can do that in 30 seconds, yeah. That works for me. Let's do it.
It's 25 words, you said?
Well, 6 seconds.
Oh, 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if we were able to say, watch for carriage, push hard on right side of gate.
Avoid carriage, push hard on gate.
Yep.
Well,
works.
And it's possible, I'm just thinking out loud now, that the gate may work as normal for them.
That
might could.
Well be.
Anyway.
We'll see.
I like this plan. This is a good plan. And Arena says, you are the most talented group of people that I have ever run across. Keep in mind, I've been living in sheltered life, so.
And 2 shots of liquor will do that.
I feel very warm inside at the moment.
If you start to get cold, you let me know.
Well, okay.
She's like white girl wasted, isn't she?
Okay, well, so let's set that up, and then we'll leave that kind of in an area where they should be able to run across it.
Yep.
Yeah, and that Quill's got a pretty high perception, so he's probably going to perceive it pretty quick.
Okay. All right.
So
Jack is just going to be walking around strumming. Yeah.
Brave Sir Robin. Bravely ran away.
I didn't. All right.
So good.
So you've done all this. You've left your message. The gate is open. You proceed through the gate. And anything else?
I'm gonna take a good look around and see if I see anything out of place or anything that concerns me.
So as you go through the gate and as everybody's through, you've left your message on the other side. Then what you notice is that gate that you pushed open begins to slowly move back to the closed position, as if on its own.
Oh, now it works on its own.
How long does detect magic last?
It is. Hang on a second. Let me look.
I think it is 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, so given that, 10
minutes.
Yeah.
So as you look back, you would also notice that you still see the detect magic, but what you notice is where the magic that you saw that only you could see because you cast detect magic was sort of a pale blue, has now restored to a more vibrant blue. It's almost like, now that you see it, the contrast was that the magic that was there before seemed to be constrained, but now it seems to be
not constrained.
Full. It just seems to be where it was pale and weak. It now no longer seems to be pale and weak.
Interesting.
It's more like a darker of that light blue. You just happen to notice that because you asked. Okay. So y'all continue on down the road, and as you kind of begin to come out of the wooded area, you notice coming out of the woods before you onto the road is this black wolf. And as you see the wolf emerge from the woods, you begin to notice it begins to morph and transform. And now standing before you is a very familiar sight. A auburn-haired, beautiful woman has just transformed out of the wolf, and you recognize her from your very first. You don't. You two don't. You two do not. But Gunloda and Hal recognize her as the woman y'all met in Ashvale days ago.
Gunloda would like to. And lady.
As she appears before you, she says,
"Oh,
you have something that my lord wants, and I think you need to give it to me, and no one gets hurt."
I take back my good day, lady, my lady.
And
can Gunloda ready her weapon because she's like, bitch.
Well, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. But what in the world are you talking about?
I know exactly what she's talking about.
Mm-hmm. And it's not a it; it's a she.
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific. Like.
So, I need for Gunloda, since she said something,
I did,
to please give me a wisdom save.
I'm very wise. Ooh.
That was
12.
12. You are currently charmed by this woman, and
I mean, she is super hot.
Really want to help her out here.
Does I was gonna say, does Gunloda know? Because she didn't say. She said it and something. She didn't actually say what it is. But now that she's charmed, does she know what it is?
It doesn't all of a sudden imbue you with information.
Okay.
But you can tell that this woman has her eyes captivated on the one amongst you who has a hood over her head and her hand in her pocket.
I was going to try and play dumb.
I'm sure that you did.
But I'm super charmed.
Yeah. So right now, I mean, so you are charmed. So let me remind you what charmed means.
It's like I want to do her bidding, right?
Well, it's you're not like mind control. So let's just kind of, a
Okay.
charmed creature can't attack the charmer.
Okay.
Let me just, I'm reading directly from the player's handbook.
Mhm.
A charmed creature cannot attack the charmer or target the charmer with harmful abilities or magical effects. The charmer has advantage on any ability check to interact socially with the creature. So
okay.
you cannot attack her. You're not necessarily going to defend her,
Mhm.
but you're not going to participate in the fight.
She goes, my lady.
But you do get an opportunity to roll against this again at the top of
Okay,
your
yeah.
thing.
Right.
So but she's just charmed you, that's all.
Mhm.
And
My lady.
y'all are not in initiative at the moment, but
Mhm.
we can be. Are y'all willing to give her what she wants?
Heck no.
Okay then.
She hadn't said what she wanted.
Well, I think y'all know what she wants.
She gonna have to be a whole lot more specific.
Just make her be specific.
That's
Do
right.
it. Do it.
Very well. That young lady, and she points at Arena, needs to come with me.
You're
So
cute.
y'all are either going to give her to me or I'm going to take her. And with
Well,
that, we are going to roll initiative.
Yeah, I had a feeling that might be what's coming up next.
While you are rolling your initiative, I'm going to bring up the battle map.
That would be another deck.
Ooh.
See, you don't want to be rolling nat 20s on these. In
That's
these
right.
moments.
Yeah.
So
Switch dice. Yeah.
we will let me move to the battle map.
How come it didn't go into
I
roll 20?
forgot the battle map last time. All right.
I rolled a 16.
All right. So okay, so I'm sorry. I'm seeing things come in. So Hal got a 19.
Apparently, yeah.
All right. The Keeners, Sashana's got 22. And Rain's got
Whoa.
19.
You go, Sash. Damn.
Rain's got 19. Hal's got 19. And Gunloda's got 16. And I'm just going to put a 0 on Jack and Quill because I can't take them out of initiative. So they just will not fight. Obviously.
Because they ain't there. Yeah.
They ain't there. So I should probably take them off the map as well. So here's Quill. Put him over here. And here is Jack. Put him over there. I'll just move him off there. So let's get everybody in their marching order. So she is standing in the middle of the road. Let me enlarge the map here a little bit on the screen and move it to the center. So here is Rain. Rain, where are you in the mix?
Where is our girl?
She is right here in the middle of the road.
No. Our girl.
Oh, your girl, Irina, is right here.
Okay, great. So I'm going to bring myself a little more
Y'all should all be able to move your characters, by the way.
a little more back here.
Okay. Gunloda, you're charmed. Where are you?
I'm right here.
Are you going to stay there or do you want to be somewhere else?
Uh,
Just because I put you there on the map doesn't mean that's where you are in the walk.
oh, gotcha. Well, I kind of want to be front and center because I was up in her business anyway.
Yeah, but you're not going to attack her.
No,
At
but
least-
I
Yeah,
could stand
sure. So
in front.
Sure. So, and Ismark would naturally be in front of his sister.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
Shoshana,
how do I move?
just click and move. You should be able to do that.
Moving
Click
the
and
mouse.
drag. Let me just double check what your settings are on.
Oh, do I have to
probably
hit?
be back around here?
I can't move myself.
Oh, you know what? I don't know. This thing drives me crazy sometimes. All right, so hold on. So there you go. So Gunloda,
yeah.
you can move yourself now, and then Shoshana.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know why yours didn't come across. Okay, you're good now.
How far away is she?
We're probably just a few. I mean, Gunload is probably maybe 10 feet away from her.
All right.
So anyway, but you're up first, Shoshana.
I look at her, and a bell fills the air. Bong! And she must take a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Okay.
Yep.
7 plus 4 is 11.
Wait a minute. Where'd it go? Hold on. Where's my... I am failing. Sorry.
It's all right.
You're fine.
Joe can edit this out.
No, he leaves it in because this is great because it shows people how the game works.
Okay.
That we're human beings and we have to think math is hard.
What did you roll?
I rolled an 11.
And you failed.
Sweet.
So that is a 5 damage.
Hold on a tater.
Wait a minute. What?
Succeed on...
8 necrotic damage, or 5 necrotic damage.
Oh,
Necrotic.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so 1d8. So, yeah.
So the necrotic damage hits her and you think that it is doing damage, but then you realize it's not doing the kind of damage that you hoped it would do. And then she kind of breathes in slowly and shrugs it off as she imbues a legendary action and chooses to succeed on a saving throw that she failed on.
Okay.
So, is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Irina is up next. Irina is, of course, sort of scouring in the back because everybody's in front of her, right? But all of a sudden, Irina does something unexpected. She's like, and her hand comes up and she casts, almost surprisingly to everyone, including herself, a spiritual weapon. And this thing appears out of her and she moves it over toward this Barovia, and she strikes her with the weapon that hold on a minute,
You go, girl.
where did it go? There she is. Sorry. Okay, so spiritual weapon, that's a spell casting. Okay, so then she rolls a dirty 20, which, by the way, hits. Yeah, definitely hits. And so she takes 1d8. Is that right? Hold on. Sorry, folks. I have to... D&D Beyond is great, but it's a user experience thing. Okay. So, yeah, so it's 1d8 damage. She rolls a 7. So the Barovia takes 7 points of damage from a spiritual weapon. And I think, let me just double check my stats on Irina. Okay. Yep. So that's it. That's all she can do. So, yeah, Irina surprised you all.
Ooh. Gunload is very impressed.
Shauna's going to kind of look back and
So Hal, you're up. Go,
Yep.
Go ahead. What were you saying, Roberta?
Shoshana's going to kind of look back and
Head nodder. Yeah.
And she's like, I have no idea where that came from.
Drinking that shine, man.
I definitely feel more relaxed. Shoshana, you're up. Or Hal, you're up. Sorry.
Hal is up.
Yeah.
This is always a. So I'm gonna move slightly and then go with the Chaos Bolt with level 2 and see what happens.
Okay.
That's not gonna do it.
11 to hit.
Correct.
Yeah, so the Chaos Bolt comes out of you, and you're still kind of just unnerved by what you saw Arena do, and you just see over your shoulder, and it just goes past her and misses.
Yep, that seems fair.
Yeah. That's all you got this go around?
That's what I got.
So, Rain, you're up. Gunloda, you're on deck.
So I'm going to raise my hand and shoot a frigid beam of blue-white light out toward the Barovia. Ray of Frost is the spell.
Okay.
That's that direction.
Yep.
Doggone it. That is a 19
To hit?
That's like a 24 to hit.
That hits.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
And that is going to be 1d8 of cold damage. Oh, 8.
8.
8
Nice.
points of cold damage, and speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of my next turn.
Okay. Nice job. Okay, so Gunloda, you are up. You're not really in a position to attack her, but I will let you do another wisdom saving throw to see if you can break the charmed.
All right. What? Did it do it? No. I don't. What did I do?
Yeah, we're not seeing it. That's okay. You just can roll it locally.
Oh, I was at the wrong whatever. Here we go. Sorry.
All right.
18.
18. Yeah, so you successfully break the charm spell, but that is your turn. And all of a sudden
can I do a bonus action? Or no?
Not this go round.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is now the Barovnia's turn. And so
Summon chart.
So she is going to, let's see. She is going to bonus action Misty Step, and she appears right between you two. She teleports 15 feet. And then she is going to do a multi-attack on... She's going to attack on Shoshana, and an attack on Gunloda.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to attack with... she has 3 total attacks. She's going to attack Shoshana with a claw. 23 to hit. Does that hit?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 8 points of piercing damage. Then she attacks you a second time for 13. Does that hit? Okay, and then she attacks Gunloda one time. 19 plus 7. That's 26 to hit Gunloda.
Oh yeah, that hits.
And sorry, you take 5 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ow.
I think that's good for right now. And that is her turn. So that's her 3 attacks plus her bonus action, which was the Misty Step. or the yeah. Okay, so it's now Ismark's turn. So Ismark, seeing her misty step closer to you all, he is going to run for. He has a longsword, and he has 2 attacks with the longsword, and so he is going to run up to the Barovia, and he's going to make 2 attacks. The first attack is going to likely miss because that was a really lousy roll. That's a 12, which is below that. So we're just going to pick another dice here. 9 plus 7 is 16, which is exactly what he needed to hit.
Excellent.
And I'm going to say he did that two-handed. Because I get to roll more damage.
Woohoo.
So it's a D10 instead of a D8. When you roll a 1, it doesn't really matter what you roll, but that's 4 points of slashing damage. And so, yeah. So the Barovia is still up, no problem. But, yeah. So that's Ismark's turn. So up next is Jack, who's not here, and neither is Quill. So we're back to the top of the round. Shoshana, you're up with Arena on deck.
Okay. She is going to take her longsword and strike.
Okay.
Get that bitch.
Yeah. 15?
15 just misses.
Oh,
Dang it. Okay.
Is that your only attack?
That's it.
All right. Irina, you still sees this spiritual weapon that is sort of hovering out there, and it's this really bizarre looking mace, if you will. It looks like it's almost ancient, from more of an earlier time. This thing, and so. And she's still just sort of looking at it and begins to attack with it. And it's an 11 plus 11 plus 5, which is just enough to hit. So
Whew.
another 2 plus. It's a 2 points of damage there. From Irina.
Hey man, she hit.
Yeah, she hit. So there you go. All right, so now it's Hal with Rain on deck, please.
Yep. So I'm going to do. I'm pulling together all this energy around me. So I'm going to do the Tides of Chaos,
Okay.
which is going to give me advantage on an attack roll. And I'm going to use sorcery points. And that's going to let me then roll another Chaos Bolt at the 2nd level.
Mm-hmm.
And that looks better.
Yeah, that hits.
I can't read it. Excellent.
21, it hits.
Okay, excellent. And then the damage is going to be a whole lot of weirdness.
That's okay.
All right, it's poison damage, which is weird. Oh no, it's poison or psychic. Let's do the psychic damage. That seems like a lot more fun. And what was that ended up being for damage? Oh, and my dice evaporated, so that was nice. Did it show up on the
I just got the Chaos Bolt that it hit, so you need to roll
hit?
the damage. Yeah, so
Okay, so give me a second. Let me grab the actual.
let me look in the game
go
log
away.
here and see if it came in the game log.
Did it?
Yeah.
All right, no. I'm sorry. It says here that you did a
21?
16 to hit, and the damage was 21 because it was 6 plus 7 plus 4 plus 4.
Yep. Okay, that'll do it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So looking at the game log here, I can see that.
Thank you.
So 21 points of damage. All of it is psychic, you said,
Yes, please.
and none of it is poison.
That's correct.
Okay. 21 points.
When the shit works, it works well.
And with that, she's hit, and she staggers a minute, and she looks at you and just bares her teeth. But she gathers herself. She is still up, but she now recognizes that you are a threat.
Yeah, I hate that.
And so, Rain, you're up with Gunload on deck, who can now attack this time.
So I will. Heck, I'm gonna attempt that same attack again. So he's gonna go back with that ray of blue
Sure.
flash of freezing, and see kind of what happens here. Oh, crit!
That hits. Barely.
Okay.
You're a terrible man, Joe.
You're not the first to tell me that.
Yeah. I mean, I knew Dale back in the day. But...
Yeah. And she married me on purpose.
Oh, man.
And that's going to be 5 points of cold damage,
Uh-huh.
and speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice indeed.
So, okay. That's fine. So, Gunloda, you are up.
Awesome. I'm going to do a bonus action of divine favor.
Okay.
My prayer power empowers me with divine radiance until the spell ends, which is up to a minute of concentration. My weapon's attack deals an extra 1d4 radiant damage on a hit. And that is a 3. And I'm going to, because I took a bonus action, I can only hit once instead of the dual weapon.
Okay.
So I am going to use my Warhammer.
All right.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
8. Yeah, that's a miss. Sadly, it's a miss.
Sadly.
Oddly. Yeah, I think I'm going to take, all of my damage here in a minute, but so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Okay, so it's now the Bavanchi's turn.
Yeah.
She is going to start with a legendary action that will allow her to. She's going to use Graceful Offense, which will allow her to use the Shadow Face Step. Well, I called it Misty Step. It's the Shadow Face Step. So it doesn't really matter about her movement because she's not using her physical movement. She's going to go all the way over here to Irina, and she's going to make she's going to make some attacks on Irina. The first, she's actually trying to grapple her. So the first attack is a 13 plus 7, which is a 20.
Damn.
And so Irina is currently grappled, which means that she cannot move forward, or she's basically staying there. Her second attack is going to basically let's see. She's going to do Lick the Wound for her second one on her.
Damn it.
Which misses because it's too low. So she's going to have one more attack and she's going to do Lick the Wound again.
It
That
sounds
one-
nasty.
That one
It
is
does, doesn't
a,
it? Yeah, I wasn't gonna say. but
That
thank
one
you.
is a 25, and so
Mm.
Irina takes 1d6 plus 4. So that's 8 points of damage plus. Hold on, there's something else. She
Hate to
takes.
hold on, there's something else. That's not.
What did I say? It's 8 points, not 4. 8 points of damage, and then she takes 5 plus 4, 9 points necrotic damage, and
Jeez.
her maximum hit points come down 9 points.
I mean, didn't she want her
Whoa.
alive? Why is she trying to kill her?
She hasn't killed her.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, isn't-
And oh, by the way, those 9 hit points that come out of Irina seem to
Mm-mm.
rejuvenate the Babylon She.
yeah.
Of course it does.
And that is her
Yeah.
turn. Ismark is up. Ismark, seeing his sister grappled behind him now, turns around and, still with his longsword in his hand, is going to make his multi-attack, two-handed for both, by the way.
Nice.
So,
With advantage.
well, okay, so natural 20 on the first one.
It's
with
nice
with
event.
advantage, and then for the second one, misses, but he got a natural 20 on the first one, and so I'm going to roll the 2 dice plus 3. Oh, wait. 2d10 plus 3. Stop spinning. 9 plus 3 is 12 points of damage against the Barovia. And then as a bonus action, he looks at the Barovia and says, "You bitch!" And he holds his hand out. And you begin to notice that the Barovia begins to swell. And so, just like the ant in Harry Potter when Dobby meets her and she's swelling and only she doesn't float, but she begins to swell, and she begins to take 1d8 necrotic damage, which is 3, but it doesn't seem to do the damage that he hoped it would do. And she takes another point or so. And he has just initiated the blood curse of bloated agony. But again, it's like he and Irina are doing things that they didn't know they had in them.
Huh.
And that is Ismark's turn. So now we are back at the top of the round with Shoshana with Irina on deck.
Come on, Irina.
It's gonna run back over here and take another swipe at her with her long sword. And that is a
20 to hit.
20 to hit.
20 hits.
$19. Oh, wait a minute. Is the Babanshi undead?
Yeah. It is yes. It is considered a shadow fae creature, but it is also considered a undead for its creature type in addition to its normal type.
Which is why the
That would be
necrotic
20
damage
for
is not green. Oh,
I'm
sorry.
Say that again, please.
She picks up her sword and she just takes a swipe at her, and she takes 24 damage.
Whoa!
24 damage?
Yes.
Yes.
Holy shit!
Divine smite.
Oh, yeah.
That is
And-
smiting.
And she's undead, so I get an extra 1d8.
Okay. Yeah.
That's a lot of smiting.
So she's beginning to look a little rough. I might say.
I need to cut it on that one. That actually worked.
It's good to have a paladin in the party.
Yeah. All right. So Irina is up next, and Irina first has to make a strength saving throw to try to break the grapple. 16 plus 2 is 18, which I would say breaks the grapple. Let me just double check here, though, just to make sure that I'm not missing something. You know what? Just for giggles, I'm going to do a strength contested. Yep, that breaks. That does not. 14 versus 16, she breaks the grapple.
Awesome.
Woo!
So that's that. Let me see if she has any other actions. Yeah, I don't. Yep, I think that's what she's got. Yeah, her action was to get out of the grapple. Okay,
Cool.
Hal, you're up with Rain on deck.
Okay, firebolt.
Firebolt.
Fire away.
15.
Plus 5 should be a 20.
Oh, yeah, sorry. 20 hits, yeah, for sure.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. What's the damage? What's the damage type, please?
Is fire for 9?
Fire for 9.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that hits, and yeah, she is looking extremely rough.
I like that.
Rain, you're up.
All right, so he's gonna pull his. He's gonna throw his hand axe
Mm-hmm.
at the Vallaki. Look out below!
No, don't warn her.
That's gonna be a 12 plus 6 is an 18 to hit.
18 does indeed hit.
All right, and that's gonna be how much damage? Oh, gone it. 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. How would you like to do this?
All right, so as Rain kind of wings his axe, and he kind of yells, "Ah!" And he throws the axe around, and it kind of spins through the air, and makes purchase with the Vallaki.
So the axe comes flying around in that handle over head motion that you described, and it hits her right in the middle of the skull, sort of like in the movie Phantasm. You know, when the ball comes around the corner and gets embedded in there. It hits like right there. And she just stops. And she lets out this piercing wail as she goes down. And I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, boy.
Wait a minute.
13.
13.
Oh my god. Crit fail. Fuck.
Oh, damn.
Con save, is that what you
Ow.
said?
Constitution save, yes.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh, hell.
boy.
Always a story with you, Hal.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, man.
10 for Rain.
10, okay.
I got 16.
16?
Nice. You win.
All right,
You
so
win that round.
any of you who rolled oh wait, I got to roll for all right, so Irina passes easily, and I said Constitution saving throw. Ismark, Constitution, he fails. So all of you who failed,
What was the number?
anything less than a 14.
Yeah, we all
Anything
failed
less than a
except for Shoshana.
14, and Arena didn't fail. You become deafened for an hour and stunned for 1 minute. On a success, the creatures who have succeeded are deaf for 1 minute. So for the next hour, most of you who will not be able to hear. But
What?
the Babanshi is.
I just got it.
That was me muting just for fun. The Babanshi.
Rain just kind of walks over and he's kind of, got this, kind of shaking his head because he's sort of got this ringing going on in his head. He can't really make out anything. And he goes over and he reaches down, he grabs his axe and pulls his axe out of this thing's head and goes, "Yep, you got a little too big for your britches there, little lady." Throws his axe back on his back and he's just still kind of going.
And what's great about that is nobody hears you say it.
Right.
And
he's just kind of like, rubbing his ears, trying to figure out what's going on. And
it's almost like you suffer from tinnitus in real life. Oh, I'm sorry. That was a HIPAA violation. I apologize. I should have paid better attention to my training this week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I'm gonna so with all this going on, I'm gonna reach into my pocket and I'm gonna pull out something and kind of write onto a piece of paper because I can't really make out anything, and I'm gonna hold it up for everybody that says, "Can you hear?"
All right.
I can still read.
I'm gonna. Shoshana is going to use her mind link and ask Irina if she's okay.
Okay, and so Irina is going to say, thinks to herself, yes, thank you. That was a little scary there. I might need some more of that moonshine.
I was gonna say, Carlona's like, she can't hear. She's a little stunned. She's like,
Yeah. So,
time for some more.
So I need to take a 2-minute, just a short break. Beer. What can I tell you? So I'll be right back. Take a few minute break. Thanks. So we're back. So you encountered a Babanshi after going through the gates of western part of Barovia. You dispatched the Babanshi, and a couple of things happened. Obviously, the wail, the piercing wail that has deafened you all for at least a minute or longer, depending upon your But as the minute subsides, only Shoshana and Irina hear this. Bless you.
Sorry.
No, don't. We have pollen. Hey, everybody, we have pollen here in Appalachia.
Horrendous.
Just a little.
My gray car is yellow. Okay. So Irina and Shoshana hear this because after a minute, their hearing comes back. The rest of you are deaf, but you see this, though. What you notice is the Bavanshi's body begins to deteriorate into this mist, and it begins to drift to the east in the direction of the castle.
That figures.
Oh, wait. This is so we can't move.
Because we're stunned?
Yeah.
You're stunned, but you're only stunned for a minute. You were deaf.
Oh, it's a minute. Okay,
You're
cool.
stunned for a minute. You're deaf if you failed. You're stunned for a minute. You're deafened for an hour. and the people who succeeded are not stunned. They were just deafened for a minute.
Okay.
But you see that, so during that minute while you're stunned is when you begin to see that misting happen. And as that dissipates and the hearing comes back, you also notice that the sky becomes very clouded and dark like a thunderstorm. And you look up at the sky and you see this impression in the sky that almost looks like Strahd's face. You think. You don't know if it's an illusion or if it's real. It doesn't say anything, but you just get a sense that it's angry.
That ain't good.
And there is a bluster of wind very similar to what you might experience just before a thunderstorm, where that cold air is mixed in and there's some rumbling. And then as quickly as it came upon, it dissipates. And only Irina and Shoshana heard it, but the rest of you saw it and felt it.
Boy, he really likes to try and intimidate people, doesn't he? Rude boy.
What?
She's just talking to herself. It's okay.
So Shoshana is going to lay on hands and give herself 5 points.
Okay.
That's 22. And she is going to. How bad is Irina down?
Yeah, she has 13 out of 30 hit points.
Yelza.
So
I got some spells too. If you want to share the burden, Shoshana.
Yeah, if you want to do that, I can. I've got 10 more. So
10 more
points that I can give her.
Oh.
So I'll give her 10.
Okay.
All right. And y'all could also probably do a short rest, given you have to sit there deaf for an hour.
Please do.
I mean,
What? Huh? What are you kids doing on my lawn? Ah.
Can I change that then?
sure.
So how many? I don't remember how the short rest. I've only done one short rest ever.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So you would use your hit die.
Okay.
And I believe you can roll up to half of your hit die.
Okay.
Yeah.
And but until your next long rest, you can only once you've used the die, you've used it.
Right.
So hers are 3. Yeah, so she'll roll a d8.
Where, like on D&D Beyond, you can hit short rest and it just tells you what your hit die is. But where would you see that on your sheet? What your hit die are?
Let me look at your sheet, and I will tell you. On your sheet, I'm not 100% certain. Because I see the short rest as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you have 1d8 plus 3, so you have a total of 3 that you can roll. You can roll 1d8 plus 3 up to 3 times.
So it's a D8.
Yeah, for you. And that's actually what Irina has.
Oh, sorry.
That's
Yeah,
what
you
Irina...
just stepped through the.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just rolled Sacred Flame damage because I clicked on it. My bad.
I'm just gonna beat the fuck out of y'all for the. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Just
Irina heals herself 11 points.
So I'll give her an extra 10.
Did she need it?
She was down 30.
Yeah.
Oh.
No. She was down 50.
She was done.
She was down
17.
thank you. Nah.
So how many does she need?
She needs 17. Look at that math. From a French major even.
I'll give her, I'll give her
We say again?
10.
10? Yeah, she only needed 6. Okay.
Oh, Well, then 6. You told me she needed 17.
But she healed herself 11.
Okay, I will give her 6 then.
Okay, awesome. So she is back to full.
Gunloda
And-
just rolled one of her hit dice. Sorry. Yeah. And got 4 hit points.
Did you take any damage?
Yeah, I took 5.
Oh, okay.
So I'm 1 under my max.
All right.
Nice.
So that's why I only did 1. I was like, let's just, let's see.
All right. So, y'all have been on the road for, I think we said it was about 3 or 4 hours, maybe. Then you also had the hour of the wait there, and so yeah, you are on the road, y'all.
Can we hear now?
I will say that the hour has gone by, and slowly you begin to hear, and you hear you see Ismark. He's doing this, and he's like, Sipowitz.
That's so
Testing.
Birds. I can hear again. And I can see. But who am I?
Everybody feeling
Thank
all
you,
right?
Joe.
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm feeling better.
Well,
That
now,
was
little lady, you don't
not a
have-
good moment.
Gunloda, do you have that flask? Irina says sheepishly to you.
Gunla, 1 second, and she takes the jug out of her bag. I got you. Or she just hands her the jug? No, that's not her. She goes to hand her the jug and then looks at Ismark like, should I? It's your sister.
He looks at that gesture like Mr. Darcy looking at somebody suggesting something for his dear sister. No, he doesn't think the jug's a good idea.
So she finishes filling it. There you go.
Okay.
That's right. She does chug that shit. So
This time she just takes a dainty sip to just calm her nerves. I don't want to waste it. I don't know how much of that you have left. We might need a lot more, but I gotta
it'll be
tell
a
you
while
that
till I get back.
That woman, when she had me grappled, I don't know if y'all noticed the stench of death and it's horrible.
Gunloda takes a sip of her own and
We kind of jumped
offers.
pretty quick. I think probably while during the hour, Shoshana probably kind of looked at Irina and kind of, you seem a little surprised at what you were doing there.
Yes, not really sure where that came from. It I think perhaps being around you all has awakened something in both Ismark and myself that maybe was there all along and we just had no idea. Yeah, that was when I was just mad, and she started swelling like that. I didn't think I did that. I thought one of you all did that.
Yeah, that was you, bud.
But yeah, that was crazy. But I kind of feel like that the Morning Lord had our back today, and I'm all right with that.
Cheers to that.
And he has this, lips that touch liquor will never touch mine look on his face. And then he takes it.
All
No,
right.
no.
I was gonna say that it's over.
No, he doesn't really do that.
Deal breaker.
I was just channeling an airplane moment. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. All right, now I'm with you.
So Shoshana is going to lay her hand on Irina's shoulder, and if you feel a little uncomfortable with these things that are happening, I'm happy to listen and help if I can.
And she doesn't really say anything to that, but she kind of looks at you, and for just a moment, you sense a notion of recognition and familiarity with who you are and what you're saying to her.
Shall we proceed, my friends?
Gunloda just looks at the two and just so glad Shoshana's on their team. Just like nailing this. Like, I'm a cleric and she's just, I mean, I know she's paladin, but
Oh yeah.
man,
No, that's a whole lot of it. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just amazed by her dedication to her craft and sensitivity to others. Cheers to you, Shoshana.
There you go.
Shall we proceed?
So y'all are heading further down?
Yep.
Okay. So
We're not getting too far ahead for Jack and Quill, right?
That's y'all can discuss that.
So we're
You're
at half a day's journey so far,
yeah, I mean,
and then we had the fight and the recovery and so on. So
let me recount the distance. So you were an hour. The first hour out of the village of Barovia got you to the crossroads where you typically see the gallows. So that's your 1st hour. Then you were about 2 hours from there to the waterfall. So there's your 3rd hour. Then you were about 45 minutes to the interaction with the carriage, and that probably took a little time. So we're going to call that an hour. So that's your 4th hour. Then you spent some time with the Western Gates.
Claro.
And the puzzle of getting it through, and then you encountered the Bavanshi. You had the fight, which was at least a few rounds.
45 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, D&D math. But then you were all deafened or stunned or whatever for an hour. So I would put you at about, assuming that you did the short rest while you were deaf. Otherwise, you'd had another. So you're about 5 or 6 hours away from when you saw them.
So
We
say
can
we
go
left
forward.
Yeah, we've still got a couple of hours before we should stop. 'Cause I'm thinking, well, we're talking about maybe noonish, early after.
I would say that y'all by the time you got up and had your breakfast and had all the conversation, you probably left somewhere between 7:30 and 8:30 in the morning.
We are early risers.
You were that
Okay.
day.
Yeah.
Because of you wanted to get out of town before the town really got moving.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as daylight. Ooh, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's noonish. Yeah.
Well, if you left around 8, we'll call it 8 just to bridge it out between 7:30 and 8:30, and you're 6 hours out, 5-6 hours out, that would put you about 1 or 2.
Yep. Okay. So it's time for either lunch and settle down, or we just lunch on as we walk, or
Second lunch.
I probably would have had lunch while we were resting, but
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah,
grab
probably.
snacks as we go.
We'll say during the short rest you were able to get nourishment
Sure.
and share food and flasks and.
Yeah.
But not jugs,
And-
just the flask.
Yeah. Thank you, Gunloader. I'll hit that
Yeah.
jug. Glug, glug, glug. Yeah.
Oh.
feeling better now.
It's gonna be a while till I get back to my latest
Damn it. All right. Yeah.
concoctions.
I'll just spit back in there.
If only you had somebody in your group that could tinker you a little still or something.
If only.
There was a tinker in our group.
I had to explain. So, just a total aside, I had to explain to my daughter what an artificer was.
Oh,
It's like, oh yeah, I've just got an artificer in our group, and she's like, "What the hell is that?" Oh, that's a whole different. Okay,
All right.
that's another level.
right. So we're all right. So yeah, we should keep going, y'all. What do you think?
At least for a couple more hours.
Kind of mosey on a little bit. Yeah,
Sure.
for sure.
Okay, so you mosey on.
Which is the technical phrase.
Can Loda ask Ismark about how far away we are and if we can get there before dark?
Whoops. I don't know why it keeps doing that.
To St. Markovia?
So he says, well, I'll say this before we've moved, so you're still back at where you were at the 5-6 hour point. Well, we're at least, gosh, I'd say another 3 hour walk just till we get to Vallaki.
Where we can stay when it's dark.
Yeah. I mean, there are some places to stay. There's the Blue Water Inn. There's a few other spots that maybe we can find refuge. I think we're going to find information at the Blue Water, so that's where I would head. But that's in Vallaki.
There a bar at this Blue Water? Sorry.
Are you buying or selling? I'm really confused by you. You're quite a mysterious, intriguing but mysterious woman.
Brewing and distilling is my craft and my life, and I like to share it. I like to get.
So
criticism.
this is part of your noble profession. You're not just some lush. I have a completely different. I have a completely different view of you now. Thank you for illuminating me. I apologize for my ignorance.
Apology accepted for thinking I was a lush. I could see how the confusion would happen. No, like I'm serious about my craft. It's my religion, basically.
Well, I will definitely have to partake in your spiritual fruit.
Okay, we'll wait till later. You don't want to cloud your judgment or anything. Your sister has a pretty high tolerance, apparently.
Well, she's been full of surprises today. I was often, when I saw what she did back there, I wondered if your concoction had something to do with it. Anyway.
I mean, it does have the Holy Spirit of deliciousness in it.
Okay. Well, I look forward to learning more.
Excellent. I look forward to teaching you.
I will be a humble student.
Where do we end this awkward
I don't know.
I
I don't know. It never happened to me before.
And Lotta just like, cool. And walks away.
gonna look over and be like, okay, this is awkward.
It's just weird to watch,
Is there
fantasy people flirt with each other. It's just sort of.
Ismark, can you tell us should we be very concerned about the people in town? Obviously, be careful.
Well, I would.
In Vallaki?
No, it's a fair question. It's a fair question. They're obviously in Barovia, but they're not in the walls of Barovia, and so they are a place of a bit more refuge, I think. But don't kid yourself. This is Strahd's domain.
Yeah.
We're just out of the heart. So.
And he pissed it up.
She's gonna kind of look over at Loda and be like,
Yeah, no, thank you for that awkward conversation saver. Got my back, girl.
And then he looks around like, where did she go?
Fair question. Yeah.
So, all right. So y'all head on down the road.
We do.
You ease on down the road.
And you've been saying that the whole time, and the whiz has been in my mind, so thank you for circling back to that.
Not a problem. Not a problem. I just now have visions of Michael Jackson dressed up as a scarecrow.
Oh man, yeah.
Okay, so while I need somebody. Who haven't I picked on? Rose. D20, please.
Yes, sir. Oh, if my awkward conversations weren't enough. It would be a 10, a 1, 0, sir.
Okay, yeah, you're fine.
Better than 0-1 because damn.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on you. I have certain things that I look for that trigger my
That's
encounter
okay.
table, so you're fine. Okay, so you guys move on down the road, and you come to a crossroad. The road that you're on, the old Sphalic road, kind of curves around to the right, but now there is this road that there's a cutoff that also goes up to the left. And as you look up that road gingerly, you see an old windmill looking it's a grain mill, really. You know how they would use the wind to mill certain things. So to the right, the Sphalic Road becomes a winding path through the Balanok Mountains to this trail, if you will. And there's you see a windmill up in the distance, or you see the road to your right. What would you like to do?
Well, what direction do we need to go to get to our town that we're headed to?
So Vallaki.
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 Vallaki. We've got about another 2 hours that we would have to spend to get to the.
Left or right?
Which direction do we need to go to?
The main road.
Are we going through the mountains?
I mean, we're going on this road.
Does he not see?
Well, I mean, there's that wind. You're asking me about the windmill? Is that what you want to know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's old bone grinders. That's the
Oh.
where there's some women that make pastries up there.
I like sugar and pastries.
I don't know much about them. I mean, I know where Bone Grinder is. I've never been there. They come into town and sell their wares. You may have heard there occasionally around Barovia, you'll hear a cart, like a cart sound. I don't know if y'all have ever heard that before when you're in the brief moment you've been in the town, but they tend to show up in the morning with their pastries, and they go door to door. And but like I said, I don't know a lot about them. I just know that that's their mill.
So have you tasted their pastries?
You know, I really am not a sweet tooth kind of person.
Okay.
I like more of a savory. And quite honestly, their wares have never really appealed to me for some strange reason.
You know, that's enough for me to not want to get some.
Sounds fair.
Well, far be it for me to influence you, but
If you had some and were like raving about it, yes, let's go get some.
I'm a really bad person to ask. You know, that's just not my thing. But yeah, no, it's fine. I mean, it would be a detour. It would probably be an unnecessary detour that we can skip.
they wouldn't happen to have any information we might need either.
See,
right?
so I'm gonna
Well,
jump out to be like, I
don't
I
know.
feel like as a player, I want to know more about what's going on. But as my character, I'm thinking he just wants to go on into the Vallaki, right? So,
well, we got.
and I've heard that shit, but I'm like not smart enough or intuitive enough. Like my whole jam is somewhere else. But I feel like, does anybody have a thought about that? Like whether that's an actual detour that they would want to go to?
I mean, they sell pastries in Barovia, so they've got to have seen some shit, right?
I'm thinking.
What do you guys think?
As you are having this conversation, Shoshana, you notice on a branch on a tree nearby a black raven who seems to be squawking at you all.
Sit there?
I'm sorry?
Is he kind of is he just sitting there, or am I getting
He's
like we need to follow him?
Well, make an insight check.
21.
21. You get the sense that this raven is trying to warn you about something.
So glad you got a 21.
And after you kind of get that sense of warning, this raven, which came from the direction of the windmill, flies off towards Vallaki, the road that you're on.
I think that we should bypass the pastries for the.
I'm with her. Whatever she said.
That was weird. Yeah, let's just go to the. Yeah, let's see what we got at the blue water.
We were tempted by the sugary goodness.
My people tend to be a little wary of omens, such as dark birds bearing weird messages.
I like to listen to those things most of the time.
Wait. You didn't want to hear the cards, but you go with the omens. I'm just, fine. It's not a problem.
But if it's attached to Shoshana, everything's okay.
Okay.
And it's clear because Shoshana is
right.
she's like, oh, to Gunloda. Yeah, she definitely admires her greatly. So if she says do this, we'll be like, all right, let's go.
All right.
Whatever she says, let's go. So it's not necessarily listening to omens; it's listening to Shoshana.
So I'm going to make sure that my crossbow is at the ready and suggest that we move on.
Okay. So, y'all continue on the old Sphalic Road. Move you around so you can follow the...
I just had the Old Town Road just pop up in my head. That's horrible. Don't.
No, it's good. And his new video was really intense. All right.
I'm going to YouTube that afterwards.
Yeah.
Old Pro Medicine Show?
No,
Old
Lil
Nas
Nas
X.
X.
Lil Nas X, yeah.
yeah.
Why is my dynamic lighting not revealing?
Are you pressing E? No, that's rotation. Just kidding.
Yeah, it's just...
Sorry.
No, I don't know what's going on. It's
Are you in the right screen?
I am in the right screen.
Sorry.
No,
Did
you're
you try
fine.
turning it off? I couldn't even finish it. I apologize.
I'm pressing the any key.
Yes, it's plugged in. Oh shit. Yeah.
High impedance air gap.
Let me just refresh the browser and see what that does. Yeah, so regardless, you're headed down the road, and we'll theater of the mind that till I get this fixed.
Yeah, it'll work.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. So you head down. It's about a 2-hour walk from where you saw the Raven. The Raven is flying off in that direction. Why don't we ask Rain to give us a roll of a D20?
Lucky 13.
Lucky 13. Well, it is lucky because you don't have to do nothing with it.
I like it.
All right, we're back. So, are y'all may need to refresh the browser on your end to see the
Refreshing.
Yeah,
I can do that.
but
Loading special effects engine. Rolling 1d20. Sorry.
Why don't you do all my voiceovers now?
Right.
That's-
Ian and I
Right.
actually, like, when we're driving down the road, like, we put out signs and read them in that voice.
And read them in. Constitution save 4. In a world where there's Constitution saves, you have 4.
in
Alright,
a,
yeah,
in a
exactly.
world. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
In a world.
Happening. Hold on. Still happening.
Yeah. I don't know.
Critically hitting,
Just proceed.
it says.
Proceed.
We'll figure it. We'll figure it.
That's fine. Yeah.
It'll load eventually.
Theater of the mind is good.
That's
All right.
okay. So you
Just
continue down the
describe
road, and your roll, it's uneventful. You're fine. You find yourself as you're about, I don't know, maybe an hour out, you begin to notice the banks of a lake on your right.
Okay.
And let me see. Yeah. It's like you're passing it. You can see it in the distance. And then you find your way along the old Sphalic Road to after a couple of hours, you begin to find yourself approaching what you recognize to be a village in the distance. The road. Go ahead. Do you have a question? Okay.
To me?
Yeah.
No, I was just excited about the village.
Oh, so the old Sphalic Road meanders into a valley. So very similar to, like, in the mountains where you would walk into a cove, you're walking into this cove or this valley that is watched over by these dark, brooding mountains to the north and the south. And the woods recede to reveal a sullen mountain berg surrounded by a wooden palisade. Thick fog continues to press up against this wall, and you've been around the mist throughout this time, and that aesthetic has not changed for you all. But this fog presses up against it in an unusual way. It looks as though it is looking for a way inside, hoping to catch this town aslumber. And the dirt road begins to end at a set of sturdy iron gates with a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. And then planted in the ground and flanking the road outside the gates are a half dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them. And I think that's where we're going to leave our story tonight.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Wolf heads impaled.
We have arrived at.
Vallaki.
Okay.
I was thinking like
V.A.
Troy, New York vibes.
Vallaki. Vallaki.
How do you spell it again?
Vallaki. Snake.
I was missing one L.
Snake Plissken is no. I'm the king of New York. You're the
Okay.
Duke. You're the Duke. Sorry.
Vallaki. Okay.
So we made it before. We did make it before dark, correct?
Yeah. So you were at we said
Basically,
about 2:00 or so at the break,
Yeah.
and then you had another 3-hour walk. You walked an hour to what was the bone grinder. You
what's the
willy-nilly a little bit there, and then you followed this road for a couple more hours, and you arrived. So that's a total of 9 hours.
Cool.
And you're outside the gates, and
we have how many people behind the gate? These shadowy.
yeah, they're like, so this is like a palisade around a village.
Got it,
So you
yeah.
get a sense that the shadowy figures are probably some sort of constabulary unit that are responsible for the gate.
Okay, and there's just a bunch of them. We can't quite tell.
You get a sense that there's a pair of shadowy figures. So there's probably just somebody on guard duty. Ismark would know.
Okay.
We'll ask him
And
next time.
then we've got wolves' heads on pikes.
Yes, outside, almost as if a deterrent.
Like,
Well, I mean, I'm down with that vibe, but is there a count of them, or just like?
A half a dozen or so.
Okay, that works. That works. Yep.
I mean, I think I'm looking at what I said. I said a half a dozen pikes
Yep. Nope,
with
that's good.
wolves' heads impaled on them.
I like it.
I'm a little nervous.
I mean, I am too, but we don't like wolves. You know,
Well,
in
not when they
this-
turn
in
into
this setting, right?
not when they turn into Baba cheese. Like,
Right. So seeing a bunch of them on pikes makes me feel like we ran that one out of town. So
huh?
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of glad to not be camping.
Yeah. No shit. Yeah. No, I'm right with you there. I think
And kind of a little worried about Jack and
Well,
I know scampering up behind us. Yeah.
That'll be fine.
And they
If
were
they
never
didn't
heard
leave
from again.
didn't leave their laptop at home, this would be a whole different story.
Yes. Lesson learned.
Well, I think
No, that's all good.
I think the dynamic between Gunloda and Ismark and Irina might have been a little different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll hold your hand.
Wait,
I'll hold your hand.
Says-
Would you like to hear a song?
We love you, Shane. We miss you.
We do. Look at us horribly trying to impersonate you. It's a sign of love. It really is.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, I want to have the whole contingent here. That's yeah.
So we'll be back in a couple of weeks. I'm going to go ahead and let me just do this, then I'll stop recording. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Thank you all for being here tonight. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you then.